How's it going, everybody? Dana here with North Central Coins, and I'm joined once again by my good buddy Kellen, referred to as Coin Dexter on YouTube. Now, we have ourselves a big sack of pennies to hunt. I went to my local coin shop and picked up a 10-pound bag of pennies. So this should be from the years 1964 until 1996. But a lot of the time we will actually find pennies that are much older in here. We'll find George VI. I've even found George V. But we're going to be looking for errors, varieties, anything like that to add to our collections. Kellen is very new to coin roll hunting, so he still has a lot of milestones in his journey.
A lot.
But we are going to see if we can cross off some bucket listers today. But before we start this hunt off, I would really appreciate if you guys would hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you have not and you would like to see more coin roll hunting content just like this. Now, without further ado, what do you say we bust open this sack and see what kind of goodies we can accumulate today? Are you ready, Kellen?
Let's do it, man.
All right, let's get it, guys. All right, well, here's our big old 10 sack pound of pennies. Do you want to dump them out, Colin? We'll divvy them up.
Let's do it.
Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful sight? So I guess we'll just like take my hand right here. Oh, those are cold from being in my car. Oh, they're, dude, what is that? I don't know what that is, but I think that's something special. I don't know. We'll get to that soon, but we're gonna divide this pile in half. Maybe we'll chuck this in the middle, and we'll see who needs this a little more. But that looks interesting, whatever that is. All right, we have parted our massive pile of pennies. I'm gonna take the pile on the left. Callan's gonna work on this pile on the right. We're gonna fire up our scopes and start going through, seeing if we can find any varieties or anything. So let's get to it. All right, so I'm just starting my pile off, and we have this very interesting large coin right here, which has definitely seen better days. It is so beat up. I don't know if someone like shot it with a pellet back in the day, and it's got some cracks going on there. It has seen some weather damage too, probably. But from what I see here, it looks like a King George VII large penny, possibly. But it is so worn, it's just about impossible to tell. If you guys have any theories or ideas, definitely let me know down in the comments. But a pretty nice, interesting find to start this hunt off. It's most likely copper, which is probably why they threw it in here. But always nice to find bonuses like this in what is supposed to be just a sack of Canadian pennies. So I'll throw this to the side. Me and Kellen will decide who gets to keep this bad boy, and we'll keep sifting through our piles. All right, well, I'm going through, and I just found this 1962. It is an absolute blazer. And when I threw it under the scope, I'm going to try not to touch it too much. Got it upside down there. I just want to show you guys that this is definitely a hanging 2 on this one. You can see there from the top of the 2 connecting to the maple leaf, it almost looks like a hook. And I also checked it for the guitar harp variety, and I don't see anything there. But this penny's in pretty good condition. It may even be in the low MS range, honestly. So a pretty good find already. I'll throw this to the side and keep sifting through. All right, well, me and Kellen are just chugging along here with our hunts and finding all sorts of amazing stuff. Let me show you some of the finds that I have gotten so far. So I have 3 stacks of 5 right there of pre-60 young heads. So that's 15 1950s young heads that we have found already. None of those are supposed to be in this bag. It is supposed to only be 1964 until 1996. And we also got some nice blazers over there, particularly that one. And Kellen has found all sorts of awesome stuff as well. I think some of his finds are over there. One of his most notable finds so far is a 1965 large bead pointed 5 penny. I don't know where the date is there.
It's coming. Oh,
here, there you go. Where's the date there? But you can see that that is a pointed 5, and we have compared it to several other 1965 pennies on the obverse for the bead size, and this one is definitely a large bead. There's one that he just looked at, and the beads look much, much smaller. So in this kind of condition, it's not super valuable, but definitely a nice variety to add to our collection. So we're going to keep going along, seeing if we can find any more goodies. So just to give you guys a comparison, these are both 1965s. The one on the right, we believe, is a large bead pointed 5, and you can see the one on the left right there, the beads are much, much smaller on them. So we're going to check the book value, and we will fill you in by the end of this hunt, but it's probably worth like $1 in this kind of worn condition, but still very hard to find. We've searched lots of pennies, and I believe this is one of the first large bead pointed 5s that we have found so far. So pretty nice little find. We'll keep going along and see if we can find any other varieties just like that.
Kellen here bringing you in. Found a 1979. Some pretty prominent doubling on the date here.
Oh my God, look at that.
That is some great doubling. That was actually one of the first coins that I pulled out of this this hunt. So that's a pretty good find right there.
Daner here. I'm just tuning you guys in because I just found a 58 penny that is definitely looking like it is at least low. Oh, I meant to flip it over to the obverse. I don't want to touch it too much. The obverse doesn't look quite as nice, but it has quite a bit of luster left on it, and the reverse is in extremely nice shape. So definitely going to put this one off to the side. I'll see what the value of 1958 pennies are, and hopefully maybe this will be worth a couple dollars in this condition. It's one of my nicer finds so far, so I'll throw this bad boy to the side. Daner here. I have gotten to the very end of my pile, and better late than never. I have found all sorts of amazing stuff, which I'm going to show you in the wrap-up, but we got our first George VI of this hunt. It's going to be a 1948, and this George VI has seen better days, but there is actually a variety for the George VI 1948 penny where the A in, I believe, Gratia will point to or in between the denticles. So I'll throw this under the scope and we'll see which variety we have here. So we'll throw her under the scope, and oh my, this thing has definitely seen better days. Not in the best shape. But we'll take a look at that last A, and it looks like it is pointing in between. I think those are large denticles, but this is the more common variety. But even if it was the rare of the two varieties in this condition, it wouldn't really be worth anything anyways. But we did get a George VI at the very end. I am always happy to find these things. They are getting hard to find these days, especially when you buy a bag of pennies that's only supposed to be 1964 and onwards. So a nice little treat for us to add to our pile. Kellen is just finishing off his stack of pennies, and then we will wrap this hunt up for you guys and show you some of the awesome goodies that we have scored. I also want to show you guys this one 1972 penny that I found. Now, a lot of the time when you find stuff like this that looks like it may be gold plated, it will just be chemically altered. But this, even around the rim, when I compare it to other coins, it looks like it may be gold plated. I don't know why that would happen. Maybe this is someone's birthday and they decided to plate this penny, or maybe this was just chemically altered. If you guys have any theories, just let me know down in the comments. But this is the most suspect gold plated coin that I have ever found by far. And it's in pretty good shape too. It has some luster and shine left to it. It's in good shape, so I'm definitely going to hold on to it. And maybe we got ourselves a nice gold-plated coin. But regardless, it's got a nice tone on it. So I'll throw this with my pile, and Kellen will finish this off. Alrighty, folks, we have concluded this hunt. Before we start wrapping up all of these awesome finds, I would really appreciate if you guys would hit that thumbs up if you have not, and subscribe if you would like to see more coin roll hunting content just like this. And then what do you say we show you some of the goodies we managed to score today? So we scored quite a few Blazer red pennies. We got a 68, a 70, a nice pile of 1978s. Those seem to be the most common MS pennies that we're finding in this hunt. I don't know if they busted a roll open and dumped them into their box or barrel before they divvy them out. But we find a lot of uncirculated 1978s, so can't really complain about that. Got one decent looking 79 right there, and looks like three pretty nice looking 1967s. We'll find quite a few of those in MS, and I only hold on to the ones that are the nicest looking of the bunch. We also got a couple nice 50s as well. We got a 57, a 58 that is very nice, has quite a bit of luster left on it. We got a 61 right there that still has some luster, a little bit of brownness in the middle there. And a 62 that is looking pretty blazing as well. And then this is our pile of pre-1960 young heads that we managed to stack up. An absolutely massive pile. We probably have almost a full roll right there. So can't really complain when you're only supposed to be getting more modern coins and you find older stuff in a hunt like this. It is a huge bonus. Now, in terms of toners, we got some really nice toners in this hunt. We got a really nice looking 62 and a couple nice looking 63s. They have a pretty similar tone, almost kind of orangish. This one right here is particularly nice. Whoop, lost that one right there. I don't know what's up with the finish on the back, if it's just kind of transforming from red into brown slowly, but it has more of like an orange finish and some nice luster and relief on it, so pretty nice. This one is definitely an interesting toner, a 73. It has almost a gold finish, kind of like that other one I found, but not quite as gold, and it has some other colorish tones going on in there, some blues, silvers, and stuff like that, so definitely a nice toner. And we got this, which is a nice blue hue in it right here in 1979. I checked it for doubling, and unfortunately no doubling on this one, but still some nice blue on it. The obverse isn't the nicest, but a little toned. And then we got this Suspect Gold Penny. I don't know if it's gold plated or maybe undergone some kind of chemical process, but the whole edge of it is very gold as well. It doesn't look like it's been painted. It looks more like it's been plated with something. Really nice relief on it, good luster. So if any of you guys have any theories or ideas, definitely let me know down in the comments. But I'm assuming most people are probably going to say it has undergone some kind of chemical process to turn this color. But still, regardless, a nice color and tone of a 1972 penny to have. I won't complain. And then we got one George VI in this hunt in 1948. And it is the non-rare variety. It is the 8 points between the large denticles. And we also got this 57 here. And when I found this 1957, I threw it under the scope. And here, I'll show you guys what I saw. So when I threw this 57 under the scope, I noticed that it actually had some doubling here on the obverse in the gratia. I don't know if you guys can see it there on the top of the G and the R, but it isn't too often that you find pre-60 young heads with doubling like this on it. So it is definitely a nice find. And we also found some other nice coins here with some other varieties. I will show you if I can. We found some 1979s with some nice machine doubling on them. You can see right there the bottom of the 9s and kind of going along the bottom of the 7. We also have another 1979. This one doesn't look nearly as prominent as that last one. And then let's take a look at this one right here. That's a nice one as well. You can see along the bottom of the 9 right there, it has some machine doubling going on. So definitely like to hold on to those. Now, this right here is a 1962, and it is actually a blazer. And you can see right there that it is a hanging 2, a very prominent hanging 2. And the condition on this penny, it is very, very lustrous and in very nice shape. So not a bad find at all. I'm going to try not to touch it too much more than I already have been. But we also managed to get ourselves, what is this right here? Look at this 1964. Now, I'm not sure, but it looks like that might be a little die chip or a cud on the top of the 6 right there. If you guys want to let me know what you think, I always appreciate your input. But I've been checking all the 64s for the dot above the 9, and there's also an extra branch variety you can look for. But when I threw this one under, I noticed that it looked like it had a little chip right there, so I figured, hey, why not hold on to it? And then the last one that I want to show you guys in terms of the varieties that I found is this 1965. Now, you can see right there that it is a pointed 5. Now, we have checked a whole lot of 1965s in this hunt, and we have been making sure to hold on to some for comparison. And this, to me, looks like a large beads. It can throw you off a little bit because it almost looks like the beads kind of change size sometimes as you go along the outside of the rim. But some of the beads here are absolutely massive. These look like they almost turn into denticles, which is kind of strange. But I would say that this is a large bead, and that 5 is definitely a pointed 5. So if this scores in the low MS range, it can be worth anywhere from $10 to $20. So this penny could actually be a really nice find right here. I'm pretty satisfied with the finds I have had during this hunt. Now I'm going to throw this over to Kellen, and he's going to show you some of the amazing finds that he has had, because he actually had a much better hunt than I did. So I'll pass this over to Kellen, and he will show you some of the finds that he has accumulated.
Hey guys, Kellen here. We just finished up our hunt, and we found some really cool pennies here. This is my second hunt with Dane, and I gotta tell you guys, it was a lot of fun. A lot of cool pennies. I'm gonna show you guys some stuff that we found. So this pile up here, they're all 58s, 54s, anywhere in between those dates. They're all a little bit worn, but you know, they look cool, so I'm gonna keep them. I kept these guys here. They got some really cool luster to them. I wouldn't consider them uncirculated, but I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. I'm a noob, so
I'd say they're just about uncirculated, like low MS range probably.
yeah, they do look pretty cool.
They are what you would refer to as blazers. They are all just blazing red.
Good old blazers.
Because pennies can get 2 color designations. They can, or 3 actually. They can get designated red, red brown, or brown. So all of these I would say are red for sure. Maybe a little red brown action going on in some of them, but definitely some nice looking pennies.
And we also got something really interesting here. This guy right here, I presume, is a
King Edward
King Eddie VII.
large penny. Now it is so hard to tell because it looks like someone
Could be the early 1900s, I would say.
But when you're hunting what is supposed to be small pennies and you get a little bonus like this, it's not too bad. I'm gonna let Callan have it. He can add it to his collection. I don't think he has any large pennies yet, so it's a little rough for his first large penny, but still better than nothing. And it's a nice little surprise and treat.
Yeah, I can't complain about that at all.
Maybe you can throw it on a necklace, put a string through there, and wear it around.
It almost looks like someone was wearing like it as a pirate or something.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move over to the microscope here and show you guys some absolutely epic airs that we found. This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to show you guys. All right, we're gonna start off with the 79s that we found. This one has some pretty good doubling on the 7 and the 9. I would say that's pretty good. This one almost has like a cud on the bottom of the 9 there.
Yeah, like a die chip, or I don't know if that's postmint damage. It's possible that maybe it got dinged and got smeared down a little bit, but of all the 79s that we have checked and the ones that had postmint damage, this one definitely stood out a little bit. So I don't know. He should definitely hold on to it at least.
Yeah, very cool. All right, we have 3 1965 examples to show you guys here. The one on the left-hand side, you see they look like beads, but they also look like denticles. I'm not too sure. The one on the right-hand side also looks the same. The one on the bottom, that one is a small bead. We looked in the book and we referenced and did our due diligence to make sure that it wasn't in fact a small bead. All right, I'm gonna spin one at a time and compare it to each other's here. So look at this, one on the right hand side. Here we go. Oh, sorry guys. So the beads almost disappear and then they get more prominent as you go on.
But then it looks like right there, it turns into denticles.
Yep.
That is strange.
And we'll do the same on the one on the left here.
And we must have checked like 100 1965s during this hunt. And these are the only ones that we found that look like this.
Like, look at those beads. Those are definitely beads. Small beads, in fact. And then you keep on spinning this coin.
And there we go. We knew it was coming eventually. And
those are prominent. And it's almost it's almost like the lettering here is almost doubled, in fact.
Yeah, we did check it, and there is like slight doubling in the lettering as well as along the side of the queen's face.
As well as on the under 65 here. There's a little bit of doubling there as well.
That's 65. It's got a tiny bit of machine doubling. So we're not sure exactly what is going on with these, if they were having some serious die problems in 1965 or what. But of all of the 1965 pennies we checked, these ones are super suspect. And they are at least large bead, if not a mix of large bead and denticle pennies. So it could be an error. It could be postmint damage. But if you guys want to let us know what you think, we would definitely appreciate it.
We're coming up on the last couple coins here of the wrap-up video. And this one here has some extreme doubling. I think this is so interesting. The 6 almost looks 3D. If you were, the owner of this coin in 1962 and went to look at this under a microscope or magnifying glass, you would say, "Wow, how did they do that?" But now it's very simple to find out. But Very cool coin, in fact, and very cool find. Just very, very happy with the whole find today.
It's not such a common date to find doubling on. Like, we found lots of 1979s with doubling, and there are some other dates that are very well known, but 1962 is known for having a hanging 2 variety as well as a harp and guitar variety, but is not well known for having doubling, especially this significant. Like, if you look at the 9 and the 6, and even along the top of the side of the 2, that is just the absolute most unreal example of doubling. I don't know if it's machine or an actual double die when it is this extreme, but if this is machine doubling, it is the most extreme case that I have ever seen in my coin roll hunting career, and I am stoked that Kellen was able to get a penny like this in a sack of what is supposed to be basically scrap copper pennies. Finding stuff like this, air coins and varieties this rare, is a real treat when you are a coin roll hunter, and when you're starting off your coin roll hunting journey, I'm sure it's just even more of a cherry on top. So, Kellen is going to show you his find of the hunt, which I am super, super jelly of. Kellen?
Here we go, guys.
I cannot believe he found this thing. He almost chucked this into his bag as well, but he found himself a W Mint Mark year 2000 penny. He asked if the year 2000 is anything special, and I said, no, it is not, unless it has a W Mint Mark. He threw it under the scope and said, it has a W Mint Mark. I thought he was joking around. I was like, no, it has a P Mint Mark under the Queen's bust. I take a little glance over, and I see the W. You are a lucky dog. I cannot believe that, man.
Yeah, guys, I cannot believe that I found this in that big old bag.
This is your first NIFC find, I believe, in a coin roll hunt,
correct.
right? Because this is an NIFC penny. The only way that you can find one of these is if you buy a mint set from Winnipeg from the year 2000. Any of those coins will contain a W Mint Mark. This probably has a super limited mintage as well. Probably somewhere between 50 and 100,000 of these made. The only way you can or could have gotten them is to purchase the mint sets brand new. So to find one of these in the wild like this is a real milestone for you in your coin roll journey, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I was actually very surprised about your reaction when I said, well, actually what was going to happen first, I was going to chuck it back in the bag, and you said, what year was that? Oh, it's 2000. Well, thrown under the scope. Does it have a W? Yeah, man. No. Well, it certainly does, and you know it's a great coin. I'm very happy with this hunt. It was a great second penny hunt with Dane here, and I look forward to doing another one with him very in the near future. It should be a lot of fun.
Well, that just about does it for this hunt, guys. We have concluded this big old sack of pennies and found all sorts of epic stuff. If you want to let us know down in the comments what your favorite find is, we would definitely appreciate it. But I would have to say that my favorite find is probably this year 2000 NIFC penny that Kellen found. You lucky devil, you. To find an NIFC penny like this in a hunt of what is supposed to be scrappy copper pennies is a true blessing from the coin gods. I'm glad that he has some nice stuff to add to his collection, and I have some good stuff to add to mine as well. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. So until the next one, everybody, peace out and have a good one, y'all.